Lesson 5: Employee Motivation. Employee motivation is defined as the enthusiasm, energy level, commitment, and the amount of creativity that an employee brings to the organization on a daily basis. Employee motivation is all about how engaged an employee feels in tandem to the organization goals and how empowered he or she feels. Motivated employees are an asset to an organization. They are directly proportional to an organization's success. Motivation is intangible, difficult to measure and extremely difficult to control, but very easy to facilitate if done right. It's all about intention, intensity, and perseverance. Motivation means inspiring the personnel, workers, or employees with an enthusiasm to work for the accomplishment of objectives of the organization. The content approaches center on the factors within the individual which rejuvenate, direct, sustain, and stop behavior. These approaches try to determine the particular needs that motivate or inspire people. They are Maslow's hierarchy of needs, Alderfer's ERG theory, so on and so forth. The rest of the approaches will be discussed by my other groupmates, so let's start first in Maslow's hierarchy of needs. He defined need as a physiological deficiency that a person feels the compulsion to satisfy. He proposes that humans are motivated by multiple needs, and these needs exist in hierarchical order. Our most basic need is for physical survival, and this will be the first thing that motivates our behavior. Once that level is fulfilled, the next level up is what motivates us, and so on. First is physiological needs. These are biological requirements for human survival, like air, food, drink, shelter, clothing, warmth, sex, and sleep. If these needs are not satisfied, the human body cannot function optimally. Maslow considered physiological needs the most important, as all of the other needs become secondary until these needs are met. Next is safety needs. Once an individual's physiological needs are satisfied, the needs for security and safety become salient. People want to experience order, predictability, and control in their lives. These needs can be fulfilled by the family and society. For example, emotional security, financial security, law and order, freedom from fear, social stability, property, health, and well-being. The next one is love and belongingness needs. After physiological and safety needs have been fulfilled, the third level of human needs is social and involves feelings of belongingness. Belongingness refers to a human emotional need for interpersonal relationships, affiliating, connectedness, and being part of a group. Examples of belongingness needs include friendship, intimacy, trust, and acceptance, receiving and giving affection, and love. The fourth one is esteem needs, are the fourth level in Maslow's hierarchy and include self-worth, accomplishment, and respect. Maslow classified esteem needs into two categories. First is esteem for oneself, like dignity, achievement, mastery, and independence. And the second one is the desire for reputation or respect from others, like status and prestige. Maslow indicated that the need for respect or reputation is most important for children and adolescents and precedes real self-esteem or dignity. The last one is self-actualization needs, are the highest level in Maslow's hierarchy and refer to the realization of a person's potential, self-fulfillment, seeking personal growth, and peak experiences. Maslow describes this level as the desire to accomplish everything that one can to become the most that one can be. Individuals may perceive or focus in this need very specifically. For example, one individual may have a strong desire to become an ideal parent. In another, the desire may be expressed economically, academically, or athletically. For others, it may be expressed creatively in pictures, paintings, or inventions. This five-stage model can be divided into deficiency needs and growth needs. The first four levels are often referred to as deficiency needs, and the top level is known as growth or being needs. Deficiency needs arise due to deprivation and are said to motivate people when they are unmet. Also, the motivation to fulfill such needs will become stronger the longer the duration they are denied. For example, the longer a person goes without food, the hungrier they will become. Maslow initially stated that individuals must satisfy lower-level deficit needs before progressing to meet higher-level growth needs. However, he later clarified that satisfaction of needs is not an all-or-none phenomenon, admitting that his earlier statements may have given the false impression that a need must be satisfied 100% before the next need emerge. When a deficit need has been more or less satisfied, it will go away, and our activities become habitually directed towards meeting the next set of needs that we have yet to satisfy. These become our silent needs. However, growth needs continue to be felt and may even become stronger once they have been engaged. Growth needs do not stem from a lack of something, but rather from a desire to grow as a person. Once these growth needs have been reasonably satisfied, one may be able to reach the highest level called self-actualization. Every person is capable and has the desire to move up the hierarchy toward a level of self-actualization. Unfortunately, progress is often disrupted by a failure to meet lower-level needs. Life experiences, including divorce and loss of a job, may cause an individual to fluctuate between levels of the hierarchy. Therefore, not everyone will move through the hierarchy in a unidirectional manner, but may move back and forth between the different types of needs. So let's move on to the next topic, the Adler's ERG theory. Adler's ERG theory of motivation builds on Maslow's hierarchy of needs and states that humans have three core types of need: existence, relatedness, and growth. These needs may be of different levels of priority for different individuals, and their relative importance for an individual may vary over time. Adler proposed that when a certain category of needs isn't being met, people will redouble their efforts to fulfill needs in a lower category. Clayton Adler developed Maslow's hierarchy of needs into three-factor model of motivation, known as the ARJ model. In this model, the letter E, R, and G each stands for different human needs: existence, relatedness, and growth. The ARJ model is a content theory of motivation. Adler's model says that all humans are motivated by these three needs. The most concrete and motivating of Adler's three needs is existence, which really relates to physical and physiological survival. The next level is the need for relatedness, a sense of community and a good relationship with yourself. The less concrete but still important of Adler's needs in the ERG model is growth, which really relates to self-development, fulfillment, and the sense of achieving your potential. In Maslow's hierarchy of needs, individuals need to have satisfied one level of needs before moving on to the next one. For example, they need to have satisfied their safety needs before being motivated by social belonging. Adler disagreed. In his model, individuals do not need to have satisfied their existence needs before being motivated by their relatedness need. In fact, Adler went further and said that different individuals potentially prioritize the needs in the different orders based on their life views. A standard example of this could be the starving actor who's motivated by growth through their art, potentially at the expense of their existence. Adler also noted that how individuals perceive their progression in relation to each of the levels of need is important. If an individual feels they are making great progress of relatedness, they may be increasingly motivated by growth even though their relatedness need has not been fully satisfied. Similarly, if an individual feels frustrated with the progress they are making in relation to growth, they may be abandon it and redouble their motivation in relation to relatedness.
Three categories. First is the existing needs. This is a desire for psychological needs and material well-being. It is a concern our basic material requirements for living, like for example, the food, water, air, clothing, safety, physical love, and affections. Relatedness needs. This is a desire for satisfying interpersonal relationship with significant others like family, friends, co-workers, and employers. Growth needs. This is a desire for continued growth and development, like for example, self-actualization, your knowledge, understanding, and duty. Frustration regression principle means that an already satisfied lower level need can become reactivate and influence behavior when higher level need cannot capitalize on the importance of the higher needs. Impact workplace motivation, like for example, if growth opportunities are not provided to the employees, maaari silang bumalik sa pangangailangan sa pagkakaugnay at mas makahalubilo sa mga katrabaho. Herbert's two-factor theory. Friedrich Herbert offers another framework for understanding motivational implication of work environment. So Herbert has a two-factor principle, which is job dissatisfactions and job satisfaction. So in job dissatisfaction influenced by hygiene factors, first is the work conditions, workers' relationship, policies and roles, supervisor quality, base wage, and salary. And in the job satisfaction influenced by motivator factors, which is the achievements, recognition, responsibility, work itself, advancement, and personal growth. 4 is McLean's learned needs theory. David McLean's acquired needs theory recognized that everyone prioritizes needs differently. So, expectancy theory, Victor H. Vroom developed this theory in 1964, producing explanatory theory of workplace motivation equation. So, motivation, expectancy, experimentally, and valence is the effort, performance, and reward. So, in effort, the employee must believe that effort will result in acceptable performance. So in performance, next is the employee believes that acceptable performance will produce the desired reward. So last is the rewards, which is the employee values the reward.
Equity theory was developed by John Stacy Adams in 1963. It's a motivation that suggests that employee motivation at work is driven largely by their sense of fairness. Employees create a mental ledger of the inputs and outcomes of their job, and then use this ledger to compare the ratio of their inputs and outputs to others. For example, if an employee learns that a pair doing exactly the same job as them is earning more money, then they may choose to do less work, thus creating fairness in their eyes. Goal-setting theory was developed by Edwin Locke in 1968. Goal-setting theory is a theory based on the idea that setting specific measurable goals is more effective than setting unclear goals. For example, telling an employee you expect a 10% increase in sales in 3 months. Job design is the process of establishing employees, rules, and responsibilities and the systems and procedures that they should use or follow. The main purpose of job design is to coordinate and optimize work processes to create value and maximize performance. Skills variety is the set of various skill sets which a particular job requires to complete the job and rule and responsibilities, and also are essential qualities to carry out different activities for the job profile, so that the employee can use various skills and talent to complete a task.
So this is continuation of Lara's report, job design practices that motivate. So number 2, task identity. Task identity refers to the degree to which a person is in charge of completing an identifiable piece of work from start to finish. So, task identity is important because job can feel more meaningful when employees can see the outcomes of their work. For instance, the job of a craft worker who takes a piece of wood and transforms it into a custom-made piece of furniture is distinguished by high task identity. So number 4. Number 4 is autonomy. Autonomy is the degree to which a person has the freedom to decide how to perform the job. So, when an employee's success depends on their own capabilities and drive, they feel a greater sense of responsibility for their effort. You can give any role more autonomy by encouraging employee independence and personal responsibility for project and their day-to-day activities. If you have traditionally run a tight ship, it may seem difficult and hand of responsibility, but it will make your team more motivated and productive. So number 3, task significance. Task significance refers to whether a person's job substantially affects other people's work, health, or well-being. So when employees feel that their work is significant to the organization, they are motivated to do well, and this will lead to increased employee productivity. If they feel that their work is going unnoticed or isn't affecting anyone, this will cause employee engagement to take a hit, and your team will be least motivated to complete the task. So number 5. Number 5 is feedback. Feedback is referred to the degree to which people learn how effective they are being at work. So this refers to the degree to which an employee receives direct feedback on their performance. Your team or you need feedback in order to motivate employees long term, or the manager needs to provide feedback to your work or performance throughout each employees are motivated to their work. So next is job rotation. So job rotation, it involves moving of employees from job to regular intervals. When employees periodically move to different jobs, the monotonous aspect of job periodization can be relieved. So job rotation is the systematic movement of employees from one job to another within the organization. So to achieve various human resource objectives such as orienting new employees, training employees, enhancing career development, and preventing job boredom or burnout. And so the example of job rotation is the doctor. Doctors in a hospital work across different departments and gives them exposure across various verticals of medicine. So there are advantages of job rotation. First is burnout reduction. Second is increased employee satisfaction. Third, increase in employees' motivation. 4, 3 benefits above cumulatively influence a business turnover rate, and workplace inquiries.
Job enlargement refers to expanding the tasks performed by employees to add more variety. Experts say that when jobs are enlarged, employees view themselves of being capable of performing a broader set of tasks. The definition of job enlargement is adding additional activities within the same level to an existing role. This means that a person will do more different activities in their current job. For example, an employee who will now also manage her own planning where this was formerly done by her manager. Job enlargement is a key technique in job redesign, along with job enrichment, job rotation, and job simplification. Job enrichment, a job redesign technique that allows workers more control over how they perform their own tasks. It allows to take one or more responsibility. Job enrichment is a process that is characterized by adding dimensions to existing jobs to make them more motivating. Examples of job enrichment include adding extra tasks, also called job enlargement, increasing skill variety, adding meaning to jobs, creating autonomy, and giving feedback. Empowerment, the removal of conditions that make a person powerless, an approach to motivate employees through job design and extends the idea of autonomy. One of the most basic employee empowerment examples is simply giving employees a voice in important decisions that could affect them. According to one study, 74% of managers surveyed felt that employee input was very or somewhat effective at improving decision-making processes. For example, like sa Jollibee, yung mga manager. These are the tips for empowering employees. First, change the company structure so that employees have more power on their job. Second, provide employees with access to information about things that affect their work. Third, make sure that employees know how to perform their jobs. Fourth, do not take away employee power. And lastly, instill a climate of empowerment in which managers do not routinely step in and take over instead. Flexible working arrangements refers to the alternative arrangement or schedules other than the traditional work hours, workday, or work week. Simply put, flexible work arrangements are alternate arrangement or schedules from the traditional working day and week. Employees may choose a different work schedule to meet personal or family needs. Alternatively, employers may initiate various schedules to meet their customer needs. These are forms of flexible arrangements. First, flex time. Flex time. Staff may choose their own starting and ending times within set limits. Second, compressed work week. Staff may work longer hours per workday over fewer days. Third, flex place refers to a company policy or program that enables employees to have more authority on where they will work regardless of time of day. It can be the result of a formal arrangement between the employer and the employee, or it can simply entail the fact that a job can be performed in any context or place. Fourth, job sharing. Two or more employees sharing one full-time positions. Fifth, work sharing. A situation where the duties and the pay of one job are divided between two people who work at different times during the day or week. Work sharing gives businesses an alternative to laying off staff. 6. Expanded leave. The expanded maternity leave under RA is an act increasing the maternity leave period to 105 days for female workers with pay and an option to extend for an additional 30 days without pay. This also grants extension of 15 days for solo mothers and for other purposes. 7. Phased retirement. The term phased retirement refers to programs in which workers can reduce their working hours in lieu of immediate retirement. Some employees who would have continued working full-time will elect phased retirement and thus accumulate less retirement savings than they would have otherwise. 8. Partial retirement. Partial retirement allows members to take some or all of their pensions and carry on working. Partial retirement is available to all active members subject to agreement from their employer. You have agreed with your employer to reduce your pay by at least 20% by either reducing your working hours or your grade. And lastly, work-family program. Work-family programs are discretionary programs that go beyond the basic requirements of the Family and Medical Leave Act and share the common goal of supporting employees' family demands.